Okay, so let's have a look at how we can set up pfSense inside our VMware Cloud. Okay, so this is a simple setup. We've got three main connections. We've got a public, we have a DMZ, and then we have a private over here. Okay, so the interfaces, when I've created the VM, I've created three interfaces, three network interfaces. So we have EM0, EM1 and EM2. What we'll do is we'll set up the public facing network onto this address with a default gateway here. We will then set up the DMZ having this address, /24, then a private network with this address, and then we'll mount a host. We'll mount the Linux one here, the Windows one here, onto 1.7, and it'll have a default gateway of 1.1, and then the Windows host will be 2.2 with a gateway of 2.1. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's configure this. Okay, so you should find in firewalls we've set up Viata and pfSense for our open source firewalls. If you're interested, what we've actually done is to be able to mount a CD drive, an ISO CD drive, onto the VM. All we've done is went to the pfSense website and save a live CD. We don't really need to even install it. We just mount it as a CD drive and a boot off this drive. We'll set up some private networks so it won't actually connect to the internet. Okay, so let's get it booted up and on. And let's have a look at that. And then we'll start up a Windows machine and also a Ubuntu one. May as well do that while it boots up. Okay, so you find a whole lot of machines in here. So we just power on our Ubuntu one and power on our Windows one. Then let's fire that up. And then let's fire that one up. That's us all set up now. Okay. So just let that boot. And we'll let them all boot. Got some disk errors on the Ubuntu one. It's because I just powered it off. Okay, so let's log in here. So that's going to go into the 1.1 network. This one here. It's just starting up. So no VLANs just now. For our WAN, we'll go for EM0. And then we'll go for EM1 for our LAN. And then for our other optional, this is the private network, EM2. And that's us all finished. That's correct. Okay, well that boots up. Let's power that on. Let's log in. So this is running from home just now, but you see the speed. It's running very well. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our private network while the firewall is booting up. Okay, so always we do our ifconfig Ethernet 8. Sudo ifconfig Ethernet 8 192.168.1.2. The net mask of 255.255.255.0, and it's up. So the next thing that we do is that we set up the default gateway. Okay, so we use the root use root to see if our routing table is set up correctly. Anything for 192.168.1.0 should go to Ethernet 8. Anything else gets sent to the default gateway at 192.168.1.1. That's right. Right then. So, first thing we've got to do is just set up a few IP addresses, and then once they're set up, we should be able to just fire in with the configuration using the web interface. So if we think that we have WAN and the LAN is the DMZ, so let's configure EM2. Okay, so we want to set the interfaces number 2, and we're going to go for 2. 192.168.1.1. It's 24 bits. No gateway just now, no IPv6, and no DHCP. Obviously DHCP would be useful when in a real network, but we'll just do a very simple test just now. Okay. Sorry, I've set the wrong one there. So 2 should be 192.168.2.1, 24 bits. This is our DMZ. Okay, that's fine. No. Nope. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so now what we'll do is that we'll set the third interface there. 192.168.1.1, 24 bits. There. No. And no. Okay, everything's looking good. So rather than DHCP for interface 1, we'll just stick it somewhere. Sorry, 10.200.0.1, 24 bits. Nope. 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 Okay, so that's as all go. So that's good. So let's see if we can ping our gateway. Okay, we ping ourselves first, of course. Okay, we can see ourselves, that's good. And now we'll ping the gateway. If the gateway's alive, then we're going to just get right on the browser, and it is. So, now that we've set that up, okay, so the one thing that we should notice is that we cannot make a connection into the opt. The only connection we can make in just now is into the LAN port. So we've set the LAN port up to be the second port. So let's go to our Windows machine, and we'll go ahead and we'll set up the IP address on that LAN port. Okay, so that's correct, 192.168.2.2, and there's the default gateway. Okay, so that should be fine. So now we'll pull up the browser, and we'll go to 192.168.2.1, and it's admin, and then the default password, and that's us in. Okay, so in here we can actually look at our basic firewall details. We can go in and change any of the WAN interfaces. We can change the IP address if we want. Just save that, and then apply the changes. Okay, so we can go into each of our interfaces. We can then set up a firewall with NAT. We can go in and we can add new rules. Okay, by default, things are blocked. So if we wanted a new firewall rule, we can actually define the interface that we apply it on. So let's say we apply it on the LAN interface. We define if it's going to be passed through TCP. Then we can define our range of sources, and then the destination port that we want. We can fill in a number here if we think that's useful. But we can put in the detail in there, so just for HTTP. We can then save it and then log when the rule fires. Very interesting little feature. Then we can go for other things, like looking at the flags and so on. A whole lot of rules that we can actually apply onto our firewall. Okay, so we've allowed 443 and 80 there, but obviously then apply. Then we've got other things like services, DHCP, load balancing, NTP, SNMP, and so on. Then we have our whole VPN layer 2 and layer 3 VPNs, really interesting. Basic status, look at our traffic and so on our device. And then we can look at our basic ARP tables. We can see there we've got that, and we can look at DNS lookups and a whole lot of other things, our routes that are in there. Okay, so that's a basic introduction to our pfSense firewall.